So the UFC just had their seasonal press conference where they had the main event fighters from the first 3 months of 2024 all do a press conference together. So you had Sean Strickland, Sean O'Malley, Dricus du Plessis, Alexander Volkanovski, Ilia Topuria, and Shido. And overall, I thought the press conference was better than the one we got for UFC 296. Because at UFC 296, you had Colby Covington carrying the press conference, and then there was everybody else. In this one, I was impressed with how everybody handled themselves in terms of an entertainment value. Aside from O'Malley, but that's a different video. But what I want to talk about and what inspired this video is after the press conference, there is a discussion going online arguing Sean Strickland is a snowflake. Like, he can diss it out, but he can't take it. And I think this is really interesting, purely because this comes after the press conference where Colby Covington says something about Leon Edwards' dead dad. In fact, he says he'll drag him down the hell so he can say hi to his dad, implying that his dad's also in hell. And listen, that's bad. Like, that's a really edgy thing to say at a press conference. And the entirety of the MMA community was arguing the morals of what Colby Covington said, whether that's too far or not. But what I find interesting is Dricus du Plessis can say stuff like, I'm going to beat you like your alcoholic father, or the feeling of dread and fear that you're going to have in that fight is going to be like that time you hid underneath your bed from your alcoholic dad. So Dricus can say that, and that's super funny, but what Colby Covington said is out of bounds. Let me make my stance perfectly clear here. You can say whatever you want before the fight. In my mind, there is nothing that is out of bounds because we're talking about words here. This is a combat sport. This is the only sport where I'm okay with something terrible being said before a fight. Because at the end of the day, these are two people that are fighting each other. Like, we don't have to be overly not overly disrespectful. We can't be overly respectful. Because at the end of the day, I'm taking your dream and half your paycheck. Like, we don't have to be friends, okay? Like, that's how I look at it. But I hate when people cherry pick what is offensive, what is over the line, and what is fair game. Because I would argue what Dricus said is worse than what Colby said. Like, at the very least, it's the same level of fucked up. Like, if you're not aware of the childhood of Sean Strickland, understand that it is a miracle that Sean Strickland is not a serial killer. Like, bro has the perfect backstory for the next Ted Bundy. Like, it really is that bad of a childhood. So, for Sean Strickland to go on Twitter and basically say that O'Malley and Dricus du Plessis crossed a line by making fun of his family. Well, not even his family, making fun of him for being abused by his dad. And people are taking that tweet and saying it's like, oh, I guess Sean Strickland can't handle getting made fun of, right? What? Excuse me? So, no, you just don't like Strickland. And here's the thing. I get it. Like, if you don't like Sean Strickland, I get it. Bro's an acquired taste. Bro says the most out-of-pocket shit I have ever heard. Bro made Joe Rogan uncomfortable on his own podcast talking about his childhood. And that's where they got most of this information. In fact, O'Malley quotes the JRE when Strickland was talking about what his dad's last words were to him, which, I'm not gonna lie, I'll give O'Malley a little point for that, but other than that, bro was a victim the entire time, and everything that Strickland was coming after him for is, again, public information that O'Malley brought to the table through his own podcast. Fair game. Same thing for O'Malley. But my main problem with all of this is that Colby Covington gets shit for what he said to Leon. But we praise Dricus du Plessis. I just don't get it. And all I can really come down to is more people are behind Leon that are behind Sean Strickland. But I don't like that. In my eyes, there should be nothing that is off limits if we are going to talk about a dude getting abused as a child and turn that to the butt of a joke in a press conference. Again, I'm not saying that should be off limits. My problem is that people will look at that press conference and say, that's fair game, but then look at Colby Covington and being like, oh no, you crossed the line. If you liked both of those things and are like, that's fair game, we agree. I just don't like the people that are hypocritical on it. But maybe that's just my opinion. If you think I'm off base, go in the comment section below and tell me if I'm wrong or not. But if you enjoy this content, please consider a like, subscribe. If you enjoyed this little rant, I come out with one of these pretty much every single day. I try to get daily content out. Please consider subscribe. Adios, guys.